I think you can see the screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You can hear me
Yeah,
properly?
ma'am. Clearly we can hear now. You can start the session.
Okay, okay, fine. Namaste. Good morning. I am Dr. Pratibha, professor in the Department of Panchakarma in Amrita School of Ayurveda, Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, Kollam, Kerala. So today, as a part of the webinar in Bellary College, I'll be speaking on Uttarabasti, principles and practice in present scenario. So after taking up this topic, when I thought about the topic, I felt that Uttarabasti is a type of basti. So when Acharya says about the three types of basti, Anvasana, Niruha, and Uttarabasti, but Uttarabasti is not dealt as seriously or as in detail as other bastis. Even though this Uttarabasti has equal and I think more importance than the other two types, but still this is one of the least practiced basti among Ayurveda practitioners. And when people think that it is very difficult or it is very complicated to practice this type of basti, and I had not seen even a single thesis about the urinary Uttarabasti in recent times. So even though the Uttarabasti is being practiced, but it is not practiced by Panchakarma experts. Moreover, it is practiced by the Stri Roga Prasuti department in many of the college and many of the practitioners. But it is not so. Uttarabasti is a part of, inevitable part of Panchakarma, and it is a Formerly, kashayas and kshiropakas are used. There are some other different drugs which can be used that I will be dealing in the future slides. And as you know, the root, it is Mudra Margagata or Yoni Margagata. In Yoni Margagata, there are two things. One is Yonigata and second one is Garbhashayagata. Since this is mainly related to reproductive system, there is a lot of difference in the anatomical framework of male and female. That is why the procedure also differs when it comes to male and female. So we will be dealing male Uttarabasti and female Uttarabasti in differently. So coming to the male Uttarabasti. Male, I think you should know the normal anatomy of male urinary tract. Then only we can understand how this procedure can be done. So the things which required is mainly the instrument and the patient. So if you see the instrument, the Basti instrument contains Basti Netra and Basti Putaka. As Acharya says, he says specifications for Basti Netra and he also says the specifications for Basti Putaka. Basti Netra, they say that it is the total length is 12 angula or even 14 angula also. And it should be prepared with different metals like hema, raupya, trapu, tamra, riti, and even wood can also be used for preparation of pushpanetra. And it should be shlakshna, gopucha samakriti, vritta, dhrida. So many things are there. So many things are there related to the Basti Netra. And the tip should be Jati Ashwahana Vranta Samam. That means it should be round and it should be soft, smooth. So the main thing here is the internal diameter of this Basti Netra should be Sarshapavahi. That means it is very slender, very thin, because the male urinary tract is very lengthy and it is very slender. And very important thing which is told by Acharyas is you can insert the Basti Netra up to 4 angula or 5 angula or 6 angula or 7 angula. That is what we need to see when we do the procedure. So 7 angula will be in a male hand. 7 angula will be approximately 14 centimeter or 15 centimeter. And the male urethra is approximately 14 centimeter. So Acharya intended to push the drug into the bladder. And there are instances where the the 7 angula may be more than 15 or 16 centimeter. Or if you insert 4 angula, the drug will be somewhere in between in the ureaces of prostate. You can insert 4 angula. That may be the thing what Acharya intended. So it can be intra-urethral or it can be intravesicular. So both can be possible. That is what Acharya wanted to highlight here by saying that insertion can be either 4 angula, 5 angula, 6 angula, 7 angula based on your need or based on the condition of the patient. Now, Acharya says the contraindication. He doesn't actually say that there is some special contraindication. Acharya says that prameha is contraindicated. Prameha is contraindicated. Maybe because prameha, the pathology is not in the urinary tract or mutravaha srotas. Actually, It is the pathology seen in the, it is a Kaphamedavruta Vata condition, and most of the dhatus are involved. And since it is a Kleda Pradhana Vyadhi, the doshas are brought to Mutravaha Srotas and expelled out through the Mutravaha Srotas. And it is not the disease of Mutravaha Srotas. That may be the reason why Acharya has told, even though you may think that Prameha is a Bastigata Vyadhi, and because Acharya indicates all the Bastigata Vyadhi for Uttarabasti, you can take all the other Bastigata Vyadhi for as the indications of Uttarabasti. One is Prameha. Now, what we need to take care is, we should not, no case of malignancy, there are chances of bleeding, congenital abnormalities, or even genetic disorders should not be taken, which comes under if the patient is having some fistula between the urinary tract and the colon, that should also be avoided. And any conditions of bleeding should be avoided, because it's a procedure where we do it continuously, repeatedly. This procedure is administered so that you avoid such bleeding conditions. There are tendency of bleeding is more here. Now, what are the indications? Shukradushti. All the types of, there are 8 types of Shukradushti. All the Shukradushtis are contraindicated. Mutravikara. Mutravikara, Krutramutrata, Alpamutrata, all those things. Bastivikara, any disease related to bladder, cystitis, etc., or urinary tract infections. Ashmari, Sharkara. So even though Acharya says that Ashmari and Sharkaras are indicated, we have enough drugs which can be given orally, and simple drugs which can produce tremendous results. That is why we commonly don't practice Ashmari and Shakkara, but Acharyas have told that it should be used. It can be used in most of the types of male, even Dvajabhanga, when it is not psychological, there also Uttarabasti can be practiced. Now, what are the things? Now we are directly coming to the procedure. What are the things we require for a male Uttarabasti? We need a red rubber catheter. As you see in the screen, it is a red rubber catheter. Usually we take red rubber catheter 12 number. That is very, very simple, very easily available, cost effective Basti Netra in a male Uttarabasti. So even though Acharya says that you have to, the Basti Putaka used for Uttarabasti should be from a small animals like Aja, Shaukara, or etc., or even Galacharma or Padacharma can be used, and should be Mrudu and Lagu, easy for holding. What we commonly take up is either a 20 cc syringe, or you can also take this, the second picture, that can also be taken, that can be used. It's a bladder wash that can also be used to administer Uttarabasti. Now the dose. Even though Acharya says that there are different doses according to different Acharyas, but if you are taking Sneha, it is one pala. If you are taking Kashaya, it is 2 prasrata. If we are taking so Vagbhata and Charaka has a different opinion. But totally, in male Uttarabasti, we commonly take 200 ml as the, even though it is Sneha or Kashaya, we commonly practice 200 ml. You can also practice more, because the total volume of the bladder, because you are inserting into the bladder. So the total volume of the bladder is approximately 500 to 600 or 700. 500 to 700 is the total capacity of the bladder. So you can, I think you can administer till 400 ml. And if you want to more retention, the quantity of the drug administered should be less. And if you want the more expulsion, fast expulsion, and if you have administered very tikshna dravya, then you need a faster expulsion of the drug. Then you can administer more in quantity and easily it can get expelled out. Moreover, Acharya says that based on Vaya, Bala and Dosha, you can change the dose. Practically, you can change the dose. But if you wanted, effect in the prostate, like BPH, etc., then you can take a lower dose because you're dropping the medicine somewhere in between the urethra only. Then you can actually reduce the dose, like 550 ml or 100 ml can be taken if you are dropping the medicine in between somewhere in the urethra. The kala generally told is Purvana kala because every time Acharya says that follow Anuvasana Vidhi. Follow Anuvasana Vidhi. So after food, it has to be given after food. That is one thing. And Paschat Karma, actually, even though Acharya doesn't say, main Acharyas like Bhatrayas doesn't say that you have to do the Paschat Karmas like Anuvasana Basti. But commentators say that you should also go for the Paschat Karmas like Tadana, Svik Tadana, etc. has to be done even in the Uttarabasti also. Now, what is the Purva Karma? So, there are many people who practice Uttarabasti in males, but Purva Karma is not practiced by many of the people. But there is a lot of difference between just doing the Uttarabasti and doing the Uttarabasti with Purva Karma. 2 to 3 Asthapana Bastis are the Purva Karma for Uttarabasti. Now, how to give 2 to 3 Asthapana Bastis? You can give, there are practices of administering in the morning Niruha Basti, in the afternoon Anuvasana Basti. The next day morning again Niruha Basti, in the afternoon Anuvasana Basti. That type of practice is there, but better this type of practice is not good. Not good means you can do it, but a better option is there that you first practice 3 days of Niruha Basti, then go for 3 days of Uttara Basti. That is a very good practice because this continuous administration of Asthapana Basti or Niruha Basti will produce a type of rukshata in the lower part of the body, which will help the easy absorption of drug into the body. So drug absorption is very much highlighted in all types of Basti. Drug absorption is there. That is what in Niruha Basti context, Acharya says that Samsnehyakayam sapurisha doshaha samyak sukheneti. So Samsnehyakayam is first. There is a bit of absorption is first. Then only doshas get expelled out. So there is absorption even in case of Uttara Basti. That is why you find different yogas in different conditions. The yogas are told differently in different conditions, which says that there is absorption. Mechanism of absorption is taking place. Whereas in Vamana and Virechana, there is no drug absorption because in most of the cases, Madanaphala itself is the Vamana yoga. But in Basti, it is not like that. For different condition, you have different yoga, which says that there is a absorptive mechanism being happening. Along with that absorption, there is also excretion or shodhana is also happening. After Asthapana Basti, then you have to go for a local Snehana and Swedana. Then you have to ask for the local Swedana and Snehana increases the local circulation. Followed by that, Vega Utsarga. The patient has to, if the patient is having some Vega, he has to pass the Vega. Then he has to have Yavagu Sagrita Kshira. Yavagu with Grita and Shira. So this is what Purvakarma Acharyas say. What we can do it now is, we can do, first one is you have to go for Niruha Basti, 2 to 3 Niruha Bastis has to be done. Then autoclaving, all the things has to be autoclaved, including medicine, instruments, everything has to be autoclaved because aseptic precautions are very, very necessary in this condition. Otherwise, you are going to produce more and more infection into the patient's body, because you need not be a cause of infection for the patient. So always take care of all the uh, anti-infectious precautions. And they ask the patient to, after having food, they ask the patient to pass the urges. If he has to pass urine, he has to go and pass the urine. Then what are the other things you require? You require a xylocaine jelly. Xylocaine jelly is to apply over the red rubber catheter, so that you can insert the red rubber catheter easily into the urethra. That is one thing. Second thing is, it also prevents the pain. If some people may be hypersensitive, sensitivity is more. Such conditions, xylocaine helps a lot. If otherwise, you can also use the same Thaila or Grita which you are administering into the patient's body. The same can be applied in the to the red rubber catheter. You need a kidney tray to remove the urine, and you need a whole towel to expose the part. Need gloves. You need the medicine. You need normal saline to clean the part, and other cleaning agents like pad or swabs should be there. Now coming to the Pradhana Karma. So after taking up all the things, you are going to autoclave everything and you have kept everything ready. Now you are ready for the Pradhana Karma. Now what Acharya says is Abhyakta Tailam Udhana. So you have to just apply oil over the Medra. Then Medra Harshana has to be done. Then you have to insert a Shalaka, which is Dhritabhyakta. Dhritabhyakta Shalaka should be slowly inserted through the urethral orifice to see there whether there is some obstruction in between. Then once you see that the whole urethra is patent, you are going to administer the Basti Netra, Grathabhyakta Basti Netra insertion, and slowly push the dravya into the patient body and later remove the Basti Netra. So this is how the Acharya said the Uttara Basti in very, very, very simple manner. Now, many a times these are not possible because of the aseptic precautions. So what we can do here is, you have to first clean the area with normal saline, clean it properly, then put the whole towel and expose the part alone. If needed, you have to shave the part, then clean the part, then put the whole towel. After that, you slowly retract the profuse, then slowly have to put the gel to the red rubber catheter or the Thaila to the red rubber catheter and insert the red rubber catheter into the urethra. Then at a point of time, you will find a small obstruction. A small obstruction is seen. So that says that you have reached the bladder. Then you just have to push a little bit. Then that obstruction will be removed and you will find urine coming out to the other end. That means that you are inside the bladder. So the residual urine, which will be around 20 to 30 ml, will be collected in the kidney tray. Then later you have to attach the Basti Putaka, that is your syringe. you have to attach the syringe to the red rubber catheter and then slowly push the dravya inside. Now, we commonly, if we take 200 ml of dravya to insert in, and you are taking a 20 cc syringe, then you will have to do it several times. About 20 times you have to slowly insert the dravya into the bladder. But it is only with 20 cc you can practically do it, because above that, like 50 cc syringe is very difficult. One person cannot use the 50 cc syringe with his hand and take the dravya again and push it again. So that is not possible because the syringe is very hard. You cannot use it. So it is always better to use a 20 cc syringe. That is convenient. You can easily practice that. So you will have to administer about 10 times. So when you take out the basti putaka, that is when you have inserted completely and take out the basti putaka, that is syringe, you just have to clench. You have to clench the red rubber catheter so that the dravya doesn't come back again. Then push the medicine slowly and later remove the red rubber catheter. Now this is the procedure. So after exposing the part, you are slowly and cleaning the part, you are slowly inserting the red rubber catheter. Then you will feel the urine coming out, and that urine has to be collected in the kidney tray. Later, you need to insert slowly so that the catheter has reached the bladder, and slowly push the dravya inside. Paschat karma. Paschat karma, whenever the patient feels food, feels hunger, the paya, yusha or rasa based on the dosha can be given to the patient. And 3 to 4 uttarabastis can be given in a day, and it can be given similarly for continuously 3 days. And Acharya says the Samyak Lakshana as Avyadhi Nivritti. Till Avyadhi Nivritti, you have to continue giving the Uttarabasti. So it is a repeated treatment. The treatment is very much repeated. So commonly we don't practice 2 to 3 times in a day. We commonly give once in a day. That's all we do. So continuously 3 days we will give. Or there are people who practice it for 5 days. There are people who practice it for 7 days. So every month you can give if you have not got the result. For a month you can give for 3 to 7 days. Next month you can ask the patient to come and again practice the same Uttarabasti for again. Like if it is a Vandhya case, you can do it like that. Now coming to the yoga. So I have few yogas have been collected from the publications available, and few are my own experience, and few I have seen people doing. So these are the yogas. Urethral stricture, a combination of tilataila, saindhava and honey. So honey and saindhava has to be mixed, triturated properly, because it doesn't mix up so easily. It takes time. So mixing of saindhava and honey, this is not very easy. It takes a lot of time. So you have to continuously triturate, and you have to add a tilataila. So it becomes an emulsion, because honey is water based and tilataila is lipid based. So they all mix together. It's something like a initial part of Niruha Basti Yoga. So mix everything together, and that can be administered for urethral stricture. Then oligospermia, if the count is less, then Balashogandhadi Taila, Narayana Taila, Vidaryadikrita can be practiced, because all those contain Shukravardhaka Gana Dravyas. Okay. Now if it is BPH, you can go with Varunadi Taila, or even Bala Taila can also be given. Erectile dysfunction. Usually, there can be erectile dysfunction can be of two types. Dvajabanga can be, one is neurogenic, another one is psychogenic. In psychogenic, it will not be of much help, but for the psychological support, sometimes it may help. But if it is a neurological condition, then you can go with Bala Taila and Dhanvantara Taila. Even Kshira Bala Taila can also be used. Urinary incontinence. Urinary incontinence, if it is due to infection, then you will have to go for some kashayas, Mutrala kashayas, like kashaya of Punarnava, Gokshura, Eranda, etc. Or else, if it is urinary incontinence, if because of loss of nervine strength, nervous system strength has lost, then you have to go with Taila. Dhanvantara Taila, Mahanarayana Taila, Bala Taila, all Balya type of Taila can be given. Now, that's all about male Uttarabasti. So, male Uttarabasti can be given for both uh, this thing. I think I have. Now, female Uttarabasti. Like we have finished the male Uttarabasti. Any doubt you can ask. If you have some doubt, you can keep everything writing and you can ask in the later. Lastly, now coming to the female Uttarabasti. Uh, Female Uttarabasti, Shukra Dushti or Shonitra Dushti. We have 8 Dushtis. Even in female also we have Dushtis. And Sushruta has a little bit variation in the Dushti Prakara. But still, everything is related to Vata, Pitta or Kapha. We can give Uttarabasti in all those things. Pushpodreka, menorrhagia conditions, not during the period of bleeding. Once the bleeding stops, we can go for Uttarabasti. Pushpanasha, the patient, amenorrhea. Amenorrhea conditions can also give Uttarabasti. Kashta Pushpa, dysmenorrhea, Yoni Vyadi, all the types of 20 types of Yoni Vyapat. Unless they are of congenital or genetic, they are contraindicated. Other than that, you can give in most of the Yoni Vyapats. Apara Dusthiti. This is what Sushruta says. Apara Dusthiti is improper implantation of apara or placenta. So I think nobody has tried it, but Acharya says that you can give the Uttarabasti in Aparadusthiti also. Some of the Garbhashay Roga also you can go for Uttarabasti. Contraindications are, as you all know, Prameha is contraindicated, hypersensitivity, CA cervix or any bleeding, or vesicovaginal fistula. Such things are contraindicated. Now, what we require in female is also Pushpanetra. We need the Pushpanetra. Pushpanetra is the term given for the Bastinetra used in Uttarabasti, both in male and female. The length is 10 angula and has to be prepared, made up of Hema, Rajata Taumya. So all those things can be used for the preparation. The inner circumference is Mudga Srotovahi and the outer circumference is Medhayama Samam. So Medhayama Samam is circumference is a little bit more similar to the penis, the circumference of the penis. So which says that we cannot insert such a big Bastinetra into the Garbhashaya. So it gives you an hint that the Uttarabasti of Acharyas, where the administration of drug into the high in the vagina, maybe in the vagina, not to the Garbhashaya. They never tried to intend or they never tried to go into the Garbhashaya. They just wanted the drug to be put in the vagina. So that is why the outer circumference by Sushruta, he says that it is Medhayama Samam. And they also have another word used is garbhashaya mukham prati. So you have to push the drug in the yoni or in the vagina against the mukha of the garbhashaya, against the cervix. So garbhashaya uttarabasti was not the intention of the acharyas, but they wanted the drug to go into the garbhashaya. They wanted the drug to go into the garbhashaya. That is why garbhashaya mukham prati word was used. And they say that it is 3 karnika or 2 karnika, according to different acharyas, it is different. How much to insert? In Yuvati, you have to insert 4 angula, and in Bala, it is contraindicated because of the apatya margavarna. So we know that virgins should not, should not go for the vaginal examination or vaginal insertion. But in Yuvati, it is 4 angula. Now, 4 angula is approximately 8 centimeters, and our yoni or the vaginal length is approximately the same. So it is clear that they wanted the drug to be kept in the upper part of the vagina. Now the dose. Dose also, here also there are a lot of different opinions. 1 pala, 1 prasrita, 2 prasrita, 2, yeah, lot of difference. So now we will be dealing about the different, like intrauterine how much, intravaginal how much, intra urethral how much. So that we'll be dealing in the future slides. Now let's see. Intrauterine, we commonly go around 2 ml to 10 ml. Now why? So in the previous slide it was told that 1 prasrita. So Sushruta, while explaining the Uttara Basti, he defines how much is 1 prasrita. Commonly in Basti context, we take 1 prasrita as 2 pala and that is 100 ml. But in the context of Uttara Basti, he says that prasrita is kunchitanguli, the quantity that is held in the palm, with the palm below the base of your anguli. How much is possible? So what we did, I am a Panchakarma MD, but I did my thesis in Uttara Basti. PG, my PG thesis was in Uttara Basti, and my guide was Dr. B.S. Prasad. I bowed to his padas, my pranams to Dr. B.S. Prasad, and he's the one who inspired in using different types of Basti netras. We actually tried as a part of Panchakarma. Efficacy studies are not the part of Panchakarma many times. We have to take up procedural variations, or as a part of PG studies in Panchakarma, we have to take procedural variations. So that is what we tried in my Uttara Basti, because usually Panchakarma people doesn't take up Uttara Basti as their PG thesis. And luckily, here also I am a guide to a intra-urethral Uttara Basti also. I'm a guide for that. So I'm still practicing Uttara Basti. Right. So when I took this Prasrita Pramana in most of the, because I used to stay in a hostel, so I could take about 100 girls Kunchitangula Pramana was taken, and it came around 10 ml. So in my thesis, I took about 10 ml, but 2 to 10 ml is the different practices. So some people take 2 ml, some people take 5 ml, because the volume, that is volume of the, or the capacity of the uterus is around 6 to 8 ml. So volume that can be held in the uterus is around not more than 8 ml. So considering this, 10 ml was okay for my thesis, but I have seen people practicing 2 ml. But in my practice, I have not seen, I could insert only up to 4 ml, not more than that. If I insert more than 4 ml, the Aushadhi will come back. Okay. So usually 3 to 4 ml is maximum volume that can be inserted into the uterus. All the other things will come back to the vagina. So if it is intravaginal, so intravaginal, you have more space. So up to 100 to 200 ml can be used. Intraurethral, urethral is usually we take 200 ml. The food kala is usually after food, and rutukala in intravaginal or intrauterine. Now the kala. So when we say that it is rutukala, it is also have a synonym called artavakala, because Acharya says that artavakala is taken only in swastha, not in rogavastha. Okay, it is taken in swastha. Swastha means the persons who are having regular cycles. The persons who are having the regular cycles, then there you can take Rutukala or Artavakala as the time for administration of Uttarabhasti. Now, why that time is taken? Because that time is Avarana Rahita. It is Avarana Rahita, and in Atika conditions or in Rogavastha, in most of the Rogavastha, Atika conditions or in Rogavastha, this you can take any time. It is according to the decision of the Acharya or the decision of the Vaidya to take the time for the administration. Now, why this Artavakala or why this Rutukala? Rutustu Dwadashanisha, till 12 days is 12 nights, that is approximately 13 days. Because 14th day is the day of ovulation. So till 13 days is the Kala for Rutu. So till 13 days you can administer Uttarabhasti. Now, in these days also we cannot administer Uttarabhasti in all the times. So there are, what Acharya says is, you have to administer Uttarabhasti for 3 days continuously, then give a gap of 3 days, then again administer 3 more days. Now, what is this Rutukala? Rutukala, 12 nights means initial 4 days, 5 days, people will have bleeding. The lady will have bleeding. Her cycle. Her cycle will end up by 4th, 5th day. Okay. Then you can, once the bleeding stops, the os is open. Os is open, and it slowly becoming tight, and it will close by another 2-3 days. So soon after the bleeding stops, post menstrual time, 3 days can be taken as the Rutukala. But then just before the ovulation also, the cervix is open. Cervix or the os is open and the cervix is soft, because the uterus thinks that it is ready for the acceptance of the sperm which is coming from the other end. But so that time, just before 2-3 days before the ovulation, is also a Rutukala. So in between you will get 3 days gap. So let me tell you in totally. So till 5 days there is bleeding. 6th, 7th, and 8th day you can administer Uttarabhasti, because that time the os will be open and the cervix will be soft. 9th, 10th, 11th day give a gap. 12th, 13th, 14th day you can again go for Uttarabhasti, because all those days also you can get the open cervix and soft cervix. So Acharya knew that if you want to administer drug into the uterus, these times, that is post-menstrual and pre-ovulatory time, are the best time, because anatomically there are a lot of changes happening in the cervix during those times. These are due to the hormonal changes. But if the patient is having an ovulation, the patient is not getting periods regularly, then you cannot wait for this kind of time. You can take any time, convenient time, and you have to manually open the cervix. You will have to manually open the cervix and put the drug into the garbhashaya if you are doing it intrauterine Uttarabasti. Now coming to the vidhi. Vidhi, as you know, like male Uttarabasti also, 2 to 3 Niruha has to be given. You can give it in the morning Niruha, in the evening Uttarabasti can be given. Or continuously 3 days of Niruha has to be given, followed by 3 days of Uttarabasti. And there are there are doctors who practice Yoga Basti in the morning and afternoon Uttarabasti. There was a famous gynecologist in Kerala who used to practice it like that. Yoga Basti in the morning and in the afternoon, she used to give the Uttarabasti for 7 days. So, need not be for 3 days. Even though Acharya says for 3 days, you can practice it for 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days. Now, the position is very important. Samyak Sankocha Saktini. That is what Acharya says. It is a lithotomy position. Then Dhritabhyakta Shalaka has to be inserted. Then Acharya says that after that, after taking out the, here no Shalaka insertion. Here directly you have to insert the netra. Then push the drug at a stretch and slowly remove. And you have to do all the Paschat Karmas like Anvasana. But what we practically do is, now let us see the female Uttarabasti intrauterine female Uttarabasti. We'll just see the contraindication: hypersensitivity, CA cervix, bleeding, vesicovaginal fistula that I had already told you. Then the kala of this is Rutukala or Ateka anytime, dose is 2 to 10 ml. Now, let us come to the yoga. Now, common yogas which are commonly practiced: tubal block. Tubal block. We know that tubal block, if it is of very chronic, then you will have to go for a Kshara Taila. Tikshna Tailas has to be used. Or if it is a very recent origin and it is of inflammatory type, then you go for Kumari Taila. I had practiced for a tubal block where I used Saindava and honey. Saindava and honey was mixed together and administered intrauterine. And after 3 months, consecutively 3 months it was administered. After 3 months, we took a HSG, hysterosalpingography, which where the block was removed. So there are, I know many people who are practicing with Kshara Taila. They are also getting good results. Now, infertility without saying the cause, these are the common yogas which can be practiced. Phalasarpi, Phalakalyanaka Grita, Shatavari Grita, Shatapushpa Grita, Chirabala Taila, Mahanarayana Taila. These are commonly practiced yogas in infertility, but based on the condition, you can have different things. Now, endometrial factors. So, intrauterine Uttarabasti has a lot of, you can get lot of changes in endometrium. So, endometrial thinning, the endometrium usually thinning produces implantation problems. So, in such conditions, you can go for Shatavari Ghutta. Very good. Shatavari Ghutta within a single cycle or within 3 days of Uttarabasti. For the next cycle, you can get the thickness increased. Oligomenorrhea. Oligomenorrhea Kumari Taila, if it is of inflammatory origin, or you can go for some Tila Taila in case of oligomenorrhea. Prolapse. So, uterine prolapse, you can go for Kshirabala Taila or Bala Taila or even Sukumara Grita Uttarabasti. Secondary amenorrhea. So, usually you need to go for a Tikshna drug. So, then It can be Apamarga Ksharataila or Yavaksharataila or any Ksharataila. Farasarpi also can be used. Dysmenorrhea, Dashamula Trivrittaila. This was a article which I got from this thing, from Googling. So Brahmigata can also be used because it has Garbhasthapana property. The Brahmi is having Garbhasthapana property. So some implantation defects can be treated with Brahmigata. So if there is a hormonal problems, if the hormones are very less or there is a defect in the hormones, then you can go for Phalasarpi. Even in premature ovarian failure, Phalasarpi and Shatavari Grita are of very lot of effect is there. So ovulation induction. So in case of an ovulation, you can go for Lashuna Taila, Satapushpa Taila. They're all very Tikshna Tailas. So another tortuous tube. Tube was tortuous. That is why the patient was not conceiving. So Nirgundi Taila Uttarabasti gave a very good result. Now we are going to the things we require for the intrauterine Uttarabasti. We are now seeing only intrauterine Uttarabasti. So intrauterine Uttarabasti, you need a lithotomy table and the position is like this. And you need a Kelly's pad to be kept. If you don't have a chamber to collect the cleaning things, then you can use a Kelly's pad, or else you can make some other arrangements for this. Then you need a autoclave. You need a whole oven, the medicine. Now, these are the different Basti Netras, Uttara Basti Netras I have used for intrauterine administration. See, the first one is our common IV cannula. So IV cannula is one of the best Basti Netra that can be used. Very cheap, very economical. You can use it. You remove the needle from that and you can fit it to the syringe. So your Basti Netra, Basti Yantra is ready. Uttara Basti Yantra is ready. So we commonly take 10 cc syringe. So that is the one thing. Second one that is in the blue background is IUI cannula. It's a little bit more costly, but that is also very easy because you cannot use the same netra for the second day. So you will have to throw it off. And your patient is very poor, then it is better to use the cannula, IV cannula. IV cannula can be used for a little bit economic people. Then you have a steel one which is commonly used now. The Uttara Basti Netra, which is commonly used one, which is steel. You can use it, you can autoclave and use it repeatedly. Red rubber catheter, very difficult to practice because it is not stiff. It is difficult to practice in intrauterine. And the second one is, the last one, the green one is our infant feeding tube. Even though you cannot administer on the first day, because if the os is not open or a little bit tight, you cannot insert it. What you have to do is, you have to cut it at the base. You can leave about 10 centimeter in the base and cut. It will be little bit stiff and it will be soft. For the second and third day, you can use this IUI cannula. Very cheap, easily available, and that can be used. Then you need a Cuscus speculum, and you need a Hegas dilator. You need a normal saline for cleaning, other swabs and pad. Now, what you need to do? As a Purva Karma, we commonly practice Yoni Prakshalana with Triphala Kwat. Commonly, before you administer drug into the uterus, we commonly practice yoni prakshalana with Triphala Kashaya. After the yoni prakshalana, the patient is made to lie on the table in the lithotomy position, and you adjust the light, everything, so that uh, because you cannot, if you don't have an attender, you cannot adjust the light later. Now you have to clean, you have to shave the part, then clean the part with normal saline, then put the whole towel. I hope everything is autoclaved prior. Everything is autoclaved and kept ready prior. Then you need to expose the area by putting the whole towel. Then take the, wear the gloves, take the cuscus speculum, apply the oil to the in and around the cuscus speculum, and slowly insert the cuscus speculum and fix it, so that you can see the mouth of the garbhashaya, that is cervix. You can see the cervix. So once you can see the cervix, take a artery forceps and take some swabs and clean the mouth of the garbhashaya, cervix. Cervix has to be clean, and see that you can see the os properly. Then slowly insert the Hegas dilator and see that whether it is patent. Sometimes Hegas dilator, or sometimes what happens, uterine sound itself can be put inside, so that you'll have to slightly poke the external os may be open, internal os sometimes will be a little bit tight. So just slowly poke the internal os so that you will reach the uterus. But the problem is when there is the os is closed. In such condition, you will have to use valsallam to hold the anterior rib of cervix. Then you will have to use the Hegas dilators to dilate the cervix. But it is always better not to injure the anterior lip repeatedly, because every day you will have to go and do the procedure. Then repeatedly, the injury is a common reason for CA cervix. So now you can see the os properly. Then what you have to do, you have to take your syringe and the bastinetra and slowly push it into the uterus and slowly leave the drug. The drug is in the uterus. Okay. Then slowly remove the bastinetra, and you have to ask the patient to lie down supine or little bit head low position for about 30 minutes. After that, you can send the patient to the room. Whenever you can keep a small tampon in the vagina, so that whenever the oil comes back, it will not become dirty. Now the common complications. Common complications are pain, very rare, very rare. Intrauterine also, the people are scared of that if you put the dravya into the uterus, it will go through the tubes and spill into the, through the ampulla, it will spill into the peritoneum. No, it will not happen. You should take care that you administer the dravya very slowly, very slowly. If you administer the dravya, nothing is going to happen. It will come back into the vagina. It will not go to the tubes. Instead, it will come back. It will make a round up in the uterus and it will come back to the vagina. That's all. So pain is very rare complications. Infection. If you don't take adequate precautions, there are chances of infection. Then shock. Because of pain, there can be shock, but that is also very rare complication. Peritonitis. After the spillage of dravya into the peritoneum, there are chances of peritonitis. That is also a very rare complication. Usually, you don't observe any complication unless very small slight pain that the patient complains. Other than that, you won't find any complication. Even you hold the anterior lip of vagina with the valsanum, because cervix is very, you the you won't feel the pain if you hold the cervix, because nervous connection is very less there. That is why there is no pain. So very easily you can do the procedure without any complications. Now moving on to the intravaginal. The common yogas that are practiced are, if the mucosal defects, in the vaginal mucosal defects, you can go for Triphala, Vanchavalkala or Dashamula Kashaya based on the doshas type of defect. Or even Jatyadigrita or Shatavarigrita. Based on the dosha, you can select whatever you require. Then there are chances of erosion, cervical erosion. You can go for Ropanagrita or Tripalagrita, or even some other Jatyadigrita can also be used. Anti-sperm antibody, that is, even though it is a generalized disorder, sometimes Indukantagrita Uttarabasti may help in anti-sperm antibodies. Kala, because it is a vaginal, you need not have to think of Kala, because if you are doing for a vaginal problem, if you want the drug to insert into the uterus, you have to think of Rutukala. Or if you want the drug to be stayed in the vagina only for the vaginal problem, then Kala can be any type. Dose can be 50 to 100 or 200 ml. Here also you require the lithotomy table, the Kelly's pad, and the autoclave machine. You can either use a Cuscus speculum or a Sim speculum. You can use a bladder wash as Basti Putaka, or a syringe can be used, or a enema can be used. So here also you have to start with, even though vagina, it is a common question that what is the difference between vaginal Uttarabasti and Yoni-Purana. It is very simple that when it is a Uttarabasti, you have to go after doing the Niruhabasti. So you have to go for Niruhabasti, then keep the dravya in the vagina for about half an hour, and then you can lead the patient to the room. This is how vaginal Uttarabasti is practiced. It is very much different from Yoni Prakshalana or Yoni Purana, vaginal Uttarabasti. It is something like how Rasayana drugs act. Rasayana drugs, if you see, Chyavanprash can be given simply like that. And it can also be given as Rasayana. To get the Rasayana effect, you should practice Shodhana prior. Only after Shodhana, then the Srotas will be Shuddhi. Then if you give Chyavanprash, then it will work as Rasayana. But here also, similarly here in Uttarabasti also, after Shodhana, you fill the vagina with the drug, then there will be effect of Uttarabasti. Now the effect, what effect we can infer, that we'll see in the future slides, in the mode of action slide. Now coming to the intra-urethral. So we have finished the Yoni Marga. Now we are moving on to the Mutra Marga. It is very much similar to the male Uttarabasti. Only thing that all the things which are used are similar to male Uttarabasti. Now, where it is indicated? It is indicated in the urinary tract problems. Urinary tract problems, kidney diseases, bladder problems. Now, urinary tract infections are very common. Usually in the females, UTI is very common. And people get repeated UTI and they get resistant with antibiotics. Then there are chances of getting cystitis, that is the bladder problem. The urinary tract problem becomes bladder problem. Finally, if you don't treat it, it becomes a kidney disease also. Now, in such conditions, cystitis, you can go for, or UTI of any kind, you can go for, that is Mutrakuchra. You can go for Uttarabasti with Erandamula, Gokshura, Shatavari. Yes, these three. the kashaya or kshirapaka of these. Erandamoola, Gokshura and Shatavari. So it is very good. Repeatedly somebody is getting UTI and they get resistant to the antibiotics. You go for Uttarabasti, urinary tract Uttarabasti for 5 days. You will get result. Kala anytime, dose 200 ml. Now common UTI. Gokshura, Punarnava, Eranda, Kshirapaka or simply Kashaya. Cystitis. Gokshura, Shatavari, Eranda, Kshirapaka or Kashaya. So you urge incontinence. Balataila, Sukumaragata, Kshira Balataila, etc. Hydronephrosis. This is a special condition where I have seen the patient got relief. Gokshura Punarnava Kashaya. Prolapse. Balataila, Sukumaragata or Kshira Balataila. Now the same things. Here you can use the red rubber catheter, 8 number. Then a 20 cc syringe, a kidney tray to collect the urine, and a autoclave machine. And a whole towel to expose the part and the medicine. Everything has to be autoclaved, and the cleansing agents. Everything has to be autoclaved. Now, how to administer this urinary Uttarabasti? Let me tell you, you have to first ask the patient to lie down in a lithotomy position, then clean the area with normal saline, then expose the area with the whole towel. Later, you slowly insert the red rubber catheter added with xylocaine jelly or your normal thyla into the urethra. After a small time, you will find a obstruction, that is the sphincter, urethral sphincter. You just push it in so that you will find the urine coming from the other end of the red rubber catheter. After that is the residual urine. Take out the residual urine and throw out. Then slowly insert the aushadhi. You can take it to 20 cc syringe and take the dravya and slowly push it into the bladder of the person. Now 200 ml you have inserted into the patient's body. Then after that, you can ask the patient to lie there in the room for about 10-20 minutes. Then you can send her to the room. Then about 2 hours, after 2 hours, she will pass the urine. She will pass the urine where you can find if you have administered thyla, you can find the thyla going back. So if it is kashaya or kshirapaka, what happens is the patient will void within 2 to 3 hours in the toilet. And next to urine, also she may find some parts of the aushadhi. But if it is thyla, the patient will tell you that I have seen the particles of thyla the next day morning also when the patient passes the urine. So in the male or female urethral route, if you administer thyla, the thyla stays for a long time. It is almost like Anuvasana Basti. Acharya also says that you can increase the dose of the dravya every day. For the next day, you can do it. Slowly increase the dose. That can be done. And in urinary route, you will never find any complications. I have not seen even a single complication till today. Only problem is the patient with UTI, etc., will not come for Uttarabasti. They will tell, no, I don't want Uttarabasti. I can take some pill or some kashaya and I can be okay. I don't want Uttarabasti. The persons who actually are fed up with UTI will accept for Uttarabasti. Others will not accept. So the problem is only this is the problem for urethral Uttarabasti. But infertility patients anyway, they will tell okay for the Uttarabasti. But urinary problem, the patients will never say that, okay, I will take Uttarabasti. Very rarely patients will agree for Uttarabasti. That is the only, or they will give consent. Okay, now we have come almost to the end of this session. Probable action of Uttarabasti. The local action of Uttarabasti is seen immediately in the next month, next set of when you give for next set Uttarabasti. If you have a thin endometrium, if you give 3 days of Uttarabasti, next month only you can find that the thickness of the endometrium has increased. Systemic effect. In every all the organs where you administer this Uttarabasti are having very rich blood supply, blood network. So the drugs are absorbed and into the systemic circulation. That is why you can have action on the hormonal level. So it has a very good action on the hypothalamo-pituitary ovarian axis. And speciality of these routes is that very less systemic adverse reactions. Commonly, we don't find any systemic adverse reactions. Very rarely we get a case of shock or peritonitis. Now, the duration of drug contact in the body or in that organ is very high, or duration is very long time. So the drug absorption also increases. So when you intravesicular drug administration, their hydrophilic are more absorbed than lipophilic. Both are getting absorbed, like Thaila or Kashaya, both will get absorbed, but Kashaya has a more tendency to get absorbed. But there is a problem in the bladder, there is a permeability barrier is there. Like we have BBB, blood-brain barrier, even bladder is also having a permeability barrier which restrict the drug entry. So there is a problem there. Even still we get lot of result in the intravesicular drug administration. Now intravaginal. So maybe Acharya intended to give the drug into the high in the vagina, because the upper 1/3 of vagina is having high vascular supply, very high vascular supply. And the studies in the contemporary science says that the drug is more absorbed at the level of vagina than from Garbhashaya, than from uterus. That is why, that may be the reason why Acharya doesn't wanted the drug to put directly into the uterus. He wanted to put the drug only into the high in the vagina because of this high vascular supply. And the vagina bypasses the first pass metabolism. That means the drug is directly administered into the systemic circulation, and it doesn't go to the liver for degradation. So the drug as such is seen in the systemic circulation, and it can do the action very fastly and very efficiently. And area is more in the vagina, so more absorption can be seen. And there is also abundant lymphatic supply. So this lymphatic supply helps in the absorption of the lipid material. So lipid materials are more absorbed than hydrophilic. And modern people, they take this intravaginal route of drug absorption as a substitute for oral drug delivery system. But we don't do this like that. We have a specific indications for Uttarabasti. And I think your sir had asked me to tell something about the scope of further research for PG scholars. So let me tell you about some of the areas of research in Uttarabasti. We can have SOPs for all the 3 types of Uttarabastis. And we have already developed the urinary SOP for urinary female urinary Uttarabasti. We have already developed. The other things can be done by different researchers, scholars of Ayurveda. And acharyas have told different doses for different actions and different things. So there is a lot of variation in the dose. So that confusion can be rectified. Survey studies can be done because many people practice in very, very different ways. So to see the effect or efficacy, survey studies can be taken up. Already lot of efficacy studies have been done by most of the Prasutis Triroga department in the nationwide. But we can also see, like we can also take up some phytoestrogens to see that whether the estrogen levels are increasing in the blood. Like pharmacokinetics of different drugs can also be seen. I think I am ending this session on Uttarabasti. Thank you very much for the patience hearing, and I also extend my thanks to the principal and staff and students of Taranatha Ayurveda College, Bellary, for giving me an opportunity to share my views in Uttarabasti. And my mail ID and my Facebook page and my contact number is here. And I am an author of Shodhaniya Siddhi, a textbook which gives you a practical guidelines to different panchakarmas from Snehana, Svedana, Vamana, Virechana, and Basti Nasya. So all the panchakarmas have been explained there. Only practical things have been told. And it is a very simple, very small book. You can get it in Amazon. Doesn't cost much, about 75 rupees for this book. You can purchase, and it is a very good book, practical book. I thank, once again, I thank all the team behind this webinar. I also wish them very success in their webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for a knowledgeful session. Thank you again, ma'am. Now there are some queries, ma'am. Shall we take up, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes.
From Dr. Grishma Thomas. In male patient, in case of urinary stricture, how much dose of drug Tilataila plus Saindhava plus honey can be administered?
Saindhava should be not more, like you can take it 5 grams to 10 grams, not more than that. But Taila and honey can be taken more, about 50 to 100 ml. Both can be taken. But Saindhava, 5 grams to 10 grams, not more.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Next question from Dr. Ashwini. Good. What is the rationality behind administration of Kruta Sadhita Yavagu as Purva Karma in Uttaravasti?
Krita Sadhita Yavagu in Uttaravasti.
As a Purva Karma in Uttaravasti.
So if you see all the other things, like if you see the Basti in total, everywhere they say that some snigdhata has to be added. Dravoshna manabhishyandi nati snigdham asankaram. That is the general rule for, not only for Snehana, Vamana, Virechana, it is the same for all the Panchakarma. That has to be done even for all the Panchakarma. The same was done here also. Krita Sadhita Yavagu. That's all.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question from Dr. Suhasini, ma'am. How to understand Apara Dushti and Apara can be there only in Garbhavastha. Then how can we practice, ma'am? And please tell the reference, ma'am.
Reference is from Sushruta. Sushruta Uttarabasti, where he explained Uttarabasti. The indications and contraindication of Uttarabasti is told in a single shloka. He says that Apara Dusthithi. So it is not very much highlighted and by most of the Ayurveda practitioners. But I think that we can practice in placenta previa and abruptio placenta. So when there is bleeding, you can go for some Durvaswarasa Uttarabasti, vaginal. You can put Durvaswarasa into the vagina so that you can prevent the bleeding. That is one. And if the placenta is low-lying placenta, then maybe some Grita or some Taila like Falasarpi or some Mahanarayana Taila, etc., can be put high in the vagina so that Acharya have told that it is going to be effective. Then why can't we practice? I think we should practice and see.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Next question from Dr. Grishma Thomas. If Medrayama Sama, then what is the difference between vaginal dodging and Uttarabasti?
Yeah, I had told you previously also. Why Yoni Purana, Yoni Prakshalana, and Uttarabasti, it is different. Uttarabasti I had given you an example of how Rasayana is working. So Uttarabasti is working similarly. Uttarabasti is retention of the aushadhi in the vagina, retention of the aushadhi in the vagina for a particular time duration. But the Purva Karma is very, very important. The Purva Karma, the Asthapanabasti as Purva Karma, not only Asthapanabasti, many a times even the Shodhana is also told as the Purva Karma for Uttarabasti. So these Shodhana Karmas, which are done as the Purva Karma, will produce the Sroto Shuddhi and helps the drug to move in different pathways. That is why this basti also comes under the word karma. Bahu iti kartavyata, the multifold, manifold actions or the movement of the action of the dravya in different pathway can only be attained if you do the pura karma properly. And then only the actual action of Uttarabasti will be attained. That is only makes the difference between the Yoni Purana or Yoni Prakshalana with Yoni Gata Uttarabasti.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Next question from Dr. Jubair. In diabetic erectile dysfunction, Uttarabasti can Uttarabasti be given? If yes, what is the mode of action of Uttarabasti in male? Shall I repeat?
If it is neurogenic, Uttarabasti can be given, because we are not going to treat the diabetes. We are going to treat the Dvajabhanga, erectile dysfunction. So you can give.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question from Dr. Grishma Thomas, ma'am. Ma'am, I had administered 5 ml of Falasarpis intrauterine for one of my patients, but she developed a severe gas in abdomen, which later shifted to her shoulder region. I had followed all precautions before administering Uttarabasti. Can you tell me why that would have happened? She was administered Uttarabasti having breakfast.
Okay. So this can be seen in many of the patients. That is because of the anxiety. If you see what modern science says about the reasons for gastritis, hurry, worry, and curry. This worry or the anxiety will make the patient to develop the gas, and it will turn like gulma and it will move all over the body. So Vata Vriddhi can be seen like that. That you can treat with some churnas, which you know, Hingvachadi or Ashtachurna or Dhanvantaranguliga, etc. can be given to treat it. So you need to counsel the patient before Uttarabasti.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Next question from Dr. Kavya. Ma'am, can you explain the effect of comparison effect of Uttarabasti and Nasya in decreased AMH value with specific drugs, ma'am?
Uttarabasti and Nasya comparison. They are totally uncomparables. Uttarabasti and
AMH value, ma'am. In decreased AMH value, ma'am.
Indifferent?
In decreased AMH value, ma'am.
I didn't get you.
Decreased anti-Mullerian hormone value, ma'am.
Okay, Nasya.
Nasya and Uttarabasti effect difference. Means which is more effective? Which will be more effective if you practice Nasya or Uttarabasti?
That will be different, right? That will be different. For some people, it may be Nasya. For some people, it will be Uttarabasti. I don't have much experience there.
About drugs, ma'am, in the same about drugs for Nasya and Uttarabasti.
Nasya and Uttarabasti for so it is stimulatory. So you have to go for a stimulatory drug. So then it will be a Tikshna. So even though it is Nasya or even if it is Basti, it should be Tikshna. So what effect you need? That is stimulatory effect. Then if you want a stimulatory effect, you have to go for a Tikshna Dravya. Tikshna Dravya. You can take up any Dravya, whatever you like Shatapushpa can be taken for both Nasya and Basti. Shatapushpa can be taken. Tila can be taken. They are all Tikshna.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question from Dr. Ashwini. Role of Uttarabasti in intramural fibroids. Yes. Role of Uttarabasti.
Intramural fibroids. Fibroid, very less effect by Uttarabasti. Not much effect. You will have to go for some oral, systemic correction is required in case of fibroid. Many a times we can do some shamana at a time, that's all. But I don't think it is having a very good effect in intramural fibroids.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. One more question, ma'am. Role of Uttarabasti in ANA and... Okay, sorry, ma'am. We'll go to next question, ma'am. What is the maximum quantity of Uttarabasti administration in male and female?
Maximum quantity.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the quantity that can be held in a bladder is 400 to 700. So up to 400 you can go. 400 ml.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Next question, ma'am. From Dr. Sucheta. Why the gap should be given on 9th, 10th, 11th day after menses in females for Uttarabasti, as you explained during this session. From Dr. Sucheta.
So if you see the text says you have to give Uttarabasti for 3 days, give a gap of 3 days, then give again Uttarabasti. So if you want to do in that way, then that is the only way you can practice Uttarabasti.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. We are at the last question, ma'am. Role of Uttarabasti in CA antigen 125, ma'am.
No idea.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, I call upon our HOD sir, Dr. Dorbasai Kendadmat sir, head of the department, PG Studies in Panchakarma, for vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Namaste, madam.
Namaste, sir.
Respected guest speaker of today's topic, Dr. Pratibha ma'am, and all dear participants. It includes faculty members, students, and practitioners. Thank you for your patience hearing and bearing with us from past 2 hours. Madam, really, I must say, and even I want to convey my regards, as you have accepted our invitation within a very short span of period, and you have given your valuable practical oriented contribution and as well as knowledge to the participants. Usually, though we are being a Panchakarma specialist, The Uttaravasti, the practice of Uttaravasti, both in male and female, it's very rare. The faculty members are not concentrating towards this aspect. As your talk is enlighten us, why can't you practice and why can't you go through the optimal usage of Uttaravasti? Really, your practical session is very wonderful, and even our students and all the participants, they had one common protocol in which conditions, which kind of Uttaravasti, either in male or female. That is very useful. That's my point of concern, madam. For that, I wholeheartedly thank on behalf of all the participants. Thank you very much, madam, for your practical contribution and as well as experience shown upon us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. And this is my hello.
Yes.
Thank you, madam. It's my sincere duty to convey my vote of thanks for your effort and as well as the presenter. On behalf of our department, PG Studies in Panchakarma, Pandit Tarnath Government Ayurvedic Medical College, Ballari, Karnataka, we wholeheartedly thank you very much, madam, for your wonderful session. And simultaneously, I extend my warm wishes to our beloved principal, Dr. Syed Atira Fatima ma'am, who is the backbone of our all the activities. And I extend my thanks to all the staffs of department and PG students and all the participants. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, ma'am, for a in-detail session on Uttarabasti in male and female, its mode of action, and its how to come up with its practical difficulties. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving your valuable time for us to enlighten our knowledge on Uttarabasti, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. We are at the end of the session, ma'am. We'll end. Yes, ma'am. Sorry,
Madam.
ma'am.
Madam, namaste.
Yes, sir.
After completion of this pandemic condition, as sir is assured, why can't you arrange one CME program? We are eagerly awaiting for those days.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Thank
We'll
you.
come.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, one and all, for the successful session. Now we'll wind up the meeting. Thank you.